Welcome to this demonstration where we will be going ahead and using the AWS Simple Storage Service or AWS S3 to store a HTML file and use that to create a static website. We will be looking at the conditions for public access and access control lists to see how that website is made accessible to the public. So since I've already used, you can see S3 in my dashboard. Alternatively, you can search for S3 in the search bar and go to AWS S3. So first we are reached to the S3 dashboard. Here we will go ahead and create a bucket. So in the creation of a bucket, we want it to be a general purpose bucket. We need to give a completely unique bucket name across all AWS accounts. So this means that a standard bucket name may not be allowed. So we need to give a very specific bucket name uh, that is unique to everyone. So I am going to try with cloud security demo. Let us see if we are able to successfully create that bucket. So what we want to do is currently we want to block all public access for the purpose of the demo. It is the best practice is to block all the access to prevent other parties from being able to access the files within our bucket. We are not going to worry about bucket versioning for now, but please note that by default, AWS will enable encryption on the bucket using the managed AWS keys. So this means that whatever data is uploaded to the bucket cannot be accessed by users who do not have access to the AWS key. Our user has access to the key and therefore will be able to see the data, but other users will not be able to make sense of it even if they can download. This prevents data breach from happening. So let me try to create the bucket now. So I have been able to successfully create this bucket. In case you are not able to do so, we can go ahead and append a suffix of random strings that will help us create the bucket. So let me go to the bucket. So if you see, the bucket currently does not have any objects in it. We now need to upload the access object. So let me give upload here. So I want to add the file. So here let me add the index.html and the block.html two files. Let me now click on upload. So once we have uploaded the two files, we are now able to see the two files over here. So now let me show you how to enable bucket access once the bucket is created, and enable that setting up of the static website using the S3 bucket. So we go to permissions, and in permissions we had block all public access by default. We now want to disable block all public access because we want public users to be able to access our HTML files and get to the website. So since this exposes our data, AWS is asking us to confirm that we want this to be actually done for this bucket. So once that is done, let us go ahead and create this bucket as a static website. So we come to the properties tab, and in the properties tab we come to static website hosting. So over here let me enable the static website hosting and provide the position of the document that will be used as the initial document for the website. So now we have created the static website. Let us come back down and see the bucket website endpoint. So we see the endpoint of this bucket. Let us go to this location. You see that even if we have created this, the access is still forbidden because we have not added a bucket policy to make access of this particular page. So let us quickly go and add in the corresponding bucket policy that enables us to do so. So we go back into permissions. You see here we need to add in the bucket policy. So let me quickly grab the bucket policy. So over here we have this template for the bucket policy, which allows access to all users to be able to get objects from S3, and we need to pass in which particular bucket path that they need to get access. So let me quickly grab this and paste it in the bucket policy. Note that we need to provide the bucket name over here. So now we have given access to all users to be able to access all items within this bucket. So now if we go to the website, let me refresh this. You see that we are able to successfully reach the endpoint and see the data within this endpoint. Um, So instead of providing this bucket policy in a general sense, it is always good that we limit the minimum amount of access. So instead of giving access to all the files in this repository, let me, since index.html does not depend on any other file, I'm now limiting my access to this particular resource. This is the principle of least privilege. So now only index.html has access. Let me ensure that we still are able to log in. So here we are able to see that we still are able to log in to this web statically hosted website. Now let me quickly come back to the static website settings. So here we had set the static website to point to index.html. Let us now look at blocked.html instead. So if we are have supposed to have access to block.html, we would have been able to see the site. But since our bucket policy does not allow access to block.html, let us see what happens. You see that since we do not have access from the policy, because the static website is now pointing to block.html, we are not able to see the access. Let me quickly show you that by changing the bucket policy, we will be able to give specific access even to that page. So if we give access to block.html and save the changes, we will be able to, instead of seeing the 403 forbidden message, we will be able to see the text that is available in block.html. So the text within block.html also says that it is blocked. So it was supposed to have been blocked. So we don't want to allow people to see this. So let me quickly come back and edit and set the changes back to index.html. And also in the properties, let me change the static website hosting to point back to the index.html. That's it for the end of this demo. Thank you.